Hey guys, just stepped onto the creek bank here. Just wanted to give you a little bit of a explanation of what we're doing. It is April the 7th. Just got home from church. It's about 60 degrees. There was a lot of snow in the mountains, so I'm hoping that it doesn't stunt the bite any. Come down just a little bit. Going to fish about a half mile today, hopefully. Just wanted to show you guys here what we're using. This is what I call a box fly. It's something that I come up with myself. It usually does pretty good. Hopefully you can see that. It is a weighted fly, and this I've got one of Jims Grampus's on here. Just a spinning combo, heavy weighted flies. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to try to do this more as a tutorial video, because I talked to some of you people on there and was hoping to get, kind of your opinions on what you guys wanted to see. So the first thing that I'm going to do, coming up to this hole, you want to position yourself to where you're going to be able to fish a spot that the fish are going to be holding in. So this side is too shallow. Where I'm standing, that's too shallow. So looking at this hole, I'm going to fish to the right side of the swift and to the left side of the swift, about where that big tree is at, both ways down. And then I'll fish on up on the left side a little bit too. But you want to get to where the fish are not going to be standing in the swiftest part. There's too much current, it's too much work for them. So let's just see. And this is a tad bit new. I've not used one of Jim's flies before, so hopefully may have to put a sinker on that. Look, that was one right there. Turned him. Let's go ahead real quick. I'm just going to put a sinker on this, because I don't feel like that's going to get deep enough. Just going to use a little BB weight. Just put that right here. I'll clamp that on down in a second. Let me get this closed up. Alright, let's try that again. That's better. Let's see what we come up with. Creek's changed a lot. The creek got up, washed a lot out. But it's good that we did get at least one bite straight off. Nothing. So like I said, I'm just throwing up there on that side and letting it come right back down naturally. Trying to get it as deep as I can get it. Oop, that was one. Missed him. So you don't get a whole lot of chances with these little wild trout. Usually just a peck or two is all you're going to get. They're not going to get it and run with it. They're not going to, get a whole lot of chances. It's not like fishing for stocked fish or something like that. And a lot of times you're only going to get one bite, and he won't bite it again. Mainly. I mean, there are exceptions to that. Main thing is keeping your line tight. There he is. And there's the first one. So see, you can see here, it's just a beautiful little native rainbow. I'm anxious to see which one he took. So I'm not actually fishing in the park, so I can use 2 flies on my rod here, no problems. Let me get him where I can get my hemostats. So he actually took my box fly. He got it down here too. Oh. Alright, be still. Pretty good little native right there, or some of you'd call wild trout. I call them native because they've not been stocked. Okay, let's get this fixed. Oh, in a mess here. So, let me get my... Sometimes I feel like I've got way too much junk. Alright, let's get right back in there. Let's count that as one. And we're just going to take our time today. I got him on the box fly. Main thing is keeping your line tight. Otherwise you're not going to feel a fish on there. Whoop, there was a bite right there, but I didn't get it. He took it before I... There he is. Alright. So there's 2. That's a pretty one. Another little native. Looks like maybe a male. Okay, so he took Jims Grampus. Let's get him over here. Come here, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful native right there. He gone. So that's 2. And that one was on Jims Grampus. And like I said, I'm not fishing in the park. They stock this creek. You can use triple hooks, spinners, whatever you want to. Use live bait. So if I was in the park now, I would only be able to use 1 fly on this setup. That being said, you could use a dry fly on top and make it a dropper fly. But like I said, see, on this hole here, I'm just fishing on the left and the right on that still water and just going from there. And then 2, you know, when you come to a hole like this, especially even in the park, there's not going to be 15 fish in this hole. So I've caught 2, and really that's probably the only 2 fish that were in here, maybe 3. So there's no need just to keep standing here and throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing, because, you know, it's not like like say in Cherokee or Gatlinburg where they stock it so much there's 50 other fish in the hole. These are mostly fish that are raised and brought up in this creek, and they, you know, they have a hard time finding enough food as it is. So we've caught 2. There's several casts now, and I've not had any bites. Now I'm just going to throw right in the dead swift. Sometimes, if there's a bigger one, they will lie right in the dead swift. Okay, so let's move on up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw a little further up on this still water. Well, Said I was going to. Oh no. Somebody's lost a fly there besides me. Oh, let's see if I can get that out. Great day in the morning. I don't think I'm going to be able to. No. If I can get that branch, I've got it. And this is one of the wonderful things about fishing. Okay, I've got that. Let's see what somebody else was using. Okay. Well, this is a blooper reel for sure, isn't it? Look at me. Can't get right. Reels in the water. Golly. All dangled and tangled. Where do I even start here? Okay. Now then, shake that out. So this hole's burnt now that I've been out in the middle of it. But, well, where'd that fly go? That's there. Let's see what they were using. Looks like some kind of little wet fly. Not sure what that is. We'll take it with us though. So let's get straightened out here, since I'm in all kinds of a mess. Not something I would use, but everybody's different. Okay, now then, so you can see here how the deep section was that I was fishing in. We'll throw it right up here and see if there's one standing in the top, but I doubt it since I've done... Whoop, nope, that was a bite. There he is. All right. Well, I've caught him at the bottom. Snagged him. Let him right back out in there. He got the Jims Grampus. Well, I was worried about the cold, but apparently that hasn't bothered him any. Let's get right back down in there. I figured shortly, since I waded out in the middle of that they wouldn't have cared for nothing, but you just don't ever know. You don't ever know with fish. Now, right here too, especially if I was fishing in the park, I'd hit this right here. See that deep water right there? There's probably one laying right there, closer down to the lower end of it. Let's see. You don't want to get snagged up. Let's pitch it right there and see what happens. It's a good little spot for a good one to be laying. Didn't feel nothing though. Let's try it right there again. Get down deep. That's another problem. And really, I'm only using the 2 flies on here this time because I wanted to see which ones work the best. So I've had my box fly for years, and Jim had put on there several times about the Jims Grampus, which it obviously does work. But normally I would only fish with 1 fly. And then you don't have the problems with, you know, getting them snagged up, all that. This is all too fast moving. I'm not going to fish any of this. I'm just going to move right on up here to this next hole. Simply because they don't tend to be standing in fast water. Now, if I was fishing with maybe an inline spinner like a rooster tail or something, I might throw it in here. Just to give you an idea. I mean, we'll pitch it over there, but there's going to be nothing. It's just too fast. Fish aren't going to be holding in that. See, nothing. I've grown to the point in my life, I'm almost 40, and I've fished my whole life, and I can just about look at a hole now and tell whether or not there's a fish in it and where he's going to be laying if there is a fish in it. So this hole here, you can see it's kind of swift, kind of deep on one side. What we're going to do is we're going to get right up here and get ourselves lined up with these tree limbs and throw under them and up and let it come right back down next to where that stump's at, and we'll see. And there could be even one laying right down in here. Let's try right here first. Whoop, got all tangled up. Just remember, guys, I am not a professional. Yeah, nothing. Don't think there's enough there. But they will be holding right here next to this stump. So let's see if I can get it right there. That's where I wanted it. See if I get anything. Nothing. Huh. Okay, let's pitch it right back up there again. I'll give them a couple chances before we move on. Oop, that was one. Missed him though. The problem with fishing with one of these rods and reels and just the monofilament line is that you got to get it deep enough. So I try, there was one rose right there. I try to weight my flies to where they will sink, but when they get all this bushiness on them, they don't want to sink, of course. So you almost have to use a split shot on there to get it down. Now I don't know about fly fishermen with fly line and all that. I haven't done that in years. Started out that way, but I found that just doing it this way, for me, worked out much better. I've got a 9-foot ultralight crappie pole, and so it's good and sensitive. And I don't know. I just do what works. If it works, fine. If it don't, then we'll try something different. There ought to be a fish in here. And so the main thing is when you come up to the hole, especially in the park, like, I mean, when I mentioned down there when I was standing in the middle of that hole, if you were in the park, you wouldn't have got another bite in that hole. But where these fish don't see as much action, and a lot of times they're stalkers, you don't encounter those same problems. So I always fish upstream, and that's another reason why I like to fish with this kind of setup, is because I can fish way up the creek, and the fish are always facing up, so they don't see you coming. I think I was on the bottom right there. So they don't see you coming. And so really it's all about stealth. You don't want to, I fish more along the sides of the creek here. You can see I'm standing right here fishing kind of straight in front of me, up a little. But if I was in the park, I would be fishing directly above me and not just like I am here. Because they are skittish. I mean, if they see you, you're done. They're not going to bite anything. Something's got a little nest bed there. This creek's changed. Every time the creek gets up, this creek changes. And this is shallow right here, so I don't know if I'm going to get anything here or not. I swear, there ought to be a fish right there. I feel like there should be. And a lot of times too with these flies, I like to throw down like this and just kind of let it tight line back up through, because you never know when one will take it almost like a spinner. You can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, you can see them coming back up through there. Alright, let's move on. I got nothing there. Now there might be one right here. You can see where that main swift comes down by the tree, and then these little swifts are coming down too. So we're going to go throw right in between them, right there. That's where he's going to be holding if he's there. Like I said, make sure you're keeping your line tight, or you won't feel the bite. Nothing. Okay. Now let's throw right there in those little swifts and let it come back down through. And I would almost take the sinker off in these smaller areas like this, but we're gonna see what we get. Let me get right over there. That's where I want. Oop, I don't know, it might have been the bottom. Let's get it right back up in there. That could maybe have been a bite. Right back up there. Oop, see that? I think I had too much slack in my line. I didn't feel that one. That was the bottom. I'm halfway tempted to take one of these flies off. Like I said, I don't particularly like fishing with two. There he is, right there. Don't particularly like fishing with two flies, but let me just wet my hands here. Oh. See if we can't just let this little guy loose. He gone. Got that one on the box fly too. So really, that's 2 and 2. 2 on the. Yeah, come on. I'm in a mess. 2 on the box fly. 2 on Jims Grampus. I could have had that sinker down too low. That might have been spooking them as well. Oh, that's 4. That's not too shabby, but I have done a lot better on this. Ah! That was one right there. There he is. Came back and got it. So you just got to be patient is another main point to this. I mean, oh, Jim got me on that one. Let's see if I can't just leave him down in the water and get my hemostats and all tangled up here. My rig's different this year and I'm not used to it. Oh, come here, buddy. Easy now. Yep, he gone. There he goes. I think I tore that fly up. That's okay. Not the end of the world. I can make some more. Tip of my rod's tangled. Okay. Alright, that's 5. So Jim's got me by 1 fish so far. Let's see what we get this time. Ah, there was another one. Oh no. So this is another one of the glorious things about using 2 flies. All you do is stay tangled up. Oh, great. So, this being said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's almost always better just to come over and sit down and tie it on new. You'll never get this out. I'm just going to snip that off. Snip this off. So, as you can see, you're getting the good and the bad of all of this. If I took and edited the video, it'd make me look like I was something that I wasn't. And I don't care how long you fished, you have these problems every time you go. For instance, the old boy that lost the fly right down there in the tree above me had the same problems that I'm having. This is just part of fishing. Now Jim's got another fly he calls the guinea fly. I've not tried it yet, but I plan on it. Plan on to see how well it works. Now where'd my little fly go? He went up there. Come back down. Okay. We're going to do this the exact same way I had it set up before. Just about 6 or 8 inches apart. And I just do, I mean, like I said, I don't normally do this. But I'm just going to tie 2, maybe 3 knots. Some people do a clinch knot. Some people do different things. It really doesn't matter, guys. I think we overcomplicate fishing a lot of times. Now then, let me get this. And whatever you do, don't leave your trash. Nothing irks me worse than seeing somebody that leaves trash coming up and there's a big spool of line. Let's get us another sinker on there. I think it definitely needs a sinker. I hope you guys enjoy this. I mean, like I said, you're seeing the whole thing. I'm not going to edit it. I might do a highlights reel of just the fish that we caught or something like that. But, I mean, just know you're not making any mistakes when you're fishing. It doesn't matter how long you have been fishing. You're still going to have problems like we've had already. I've fished 3 holes and I've been in a tree. I've been hung up. It's just part of it, guys. See if we can catch another in here. He bit, but he didn't take it that last time. Let's see if I can get a little farther up in there. It's got to get deep. I have to go on up. Yeah, I go one more time. Really get down in there. Alright, let us move on up. Get untangled here. Alright, so once again, all this is swift. Now I'm going to transition over to the left side because the main flow comes on this side now. So you always want to look as you're fishing up through here, wherever you're at, how the creek moves. So I'm going to go on this side. I'm going to fish these 2 holes right here on the right. Then I'm going to move back over to the right side above that big tree stump up there. So you always want to kind of plan ahead and look at your holes as you come up on them. Now, I usually wear camouflage. I've got all green on. It's hot today. I really wish I hadn't wore these insulated waders here. Normally I just go with a pair of shorts and my felt bottom boots. That seems to work the best. Now, we might get one out of this hole right here. It looks decent. We're just going to walk up on it real slow. And if I was, like I said, if I was in the park, it would be a lot more stealthy. But we're not in the park. Park's up there. And so we're going to throw toward that piece of white trash and let it come through the deep part and then down by this tree stump. See if anything happens. Didn't really get that where I wanted it. So let's ease up a little further. We're going to go right there. That's where I wanted it. Anything. Nothing. Okay, let's go a little further into the swift over there. If he bites, he's going to bite right in there. Nothing. So you could come up through here. Like I say, we're using artificial single hook. You could come up through here with some bait and probably catch, you know, twice as many fish as we've already caught. But you do risk the damage of hurting the fish. When you're using real bait, they tend to take it a lot deeper than they normally would. But that being said, I mean, the one down there took Jims Grampus pretty deep. He did bleed some, but I think he'll be all right. He did swim off okay. It's hard really to tell. I don't keep them a whole lot. I will keep some maybe once a year. If I catch a good decent size one, 20, 23 inches, something like that, then I'll try to keep them there. So you can see here we've got some deep water and then the swift up there. We're going to throw right to the edge of that swift, let it come down by those tree roots and see what happens. I was one that rose right there. I got nothing. Alright, let's throw right into the swift and let it come down. You want it to get it. Oop, there he is right there. Alright. Get over here where I can get to my. He got my fly, the box fly. Oop. Let me wet my hands. Oop. Just a little guy, but a pretty guy. He gone. So, makes 7. I think me and Jim are tied on the flies. Let's see what happens here. This is a pretty good hole here. You can see the wind's got a little bit of wind that's picked up and it's catching my line, which can be. Oh, there was one. I missed him. Alright, let's see. Let it come right back down in there in that deep part. Nothing. They have slacked off. I think that rain, or I'm sorry, the snow has affected them. You see some kind of little old bugs there. Damn it. Missed that one. See that bug right there floating? I don't know if you can see him. He's going right through there. That's what they were hitting there yesterday. I noticed they were popping the top of the water, getting those bugs, whatever kind of bug they is. I'm not close enough to tell. Okay, let's move up just a couple steps. Let's see if we can't get right into the deep part of that now. I want it to really sink now and get into that deep part. See that one rise up there? They're eating those bugs, whatever those bugs are. Right now would be a good time to have a dry fly, but the wind, I don't think we could pull it off. So trout primarily feed subsurface. I mean, you can get, they will bite on dry flies at times, but I don't know. I just never did. I never did get into it. I always just like to fish the deep waters, and I always fish wets or nymphs or stuff like that. I just always seem to do better that way. But it's whatever you prefer. This is a good hole. I would want to say there would be more than one. Missed him. He took it and ran off with it, and I missed him. Let's get right back over there. Okay, let's move up a few more steps. Just let it come right down through the center of that deep right there. Nothing. Right. Let's move on up. So now we're going to transition. We're going to stay right in the center and fish this up through here. And we'll go to the other side up there. Let's take and just pitch it right there. And let it come right back down through there now. There. I'd really like for it to come down right along the edge of those tree stumps. Ah, there was one. Missed it. So there could be, a lot of times trout will hold under those roots. It could be a good sized one. So if I can get it right there and just let it come down, if it gets deep enough, my flies get deep enough, just let it come right down, right along the edge of that. As deep as you can get it. I'm hung. There it comes. It just rose up there again. So close enough, but not close enough where you get hung. You could catch the creek up, it would be an ideal place. Right back up through there like that and see if anything hits. Nothing. Okay, moving on. So I know there's a fish up there because he keeps hitting top water. Let's see if he'll hit the bottom. There he is. Now you seen that. He was up there, he was feeding top water. And then, he come off. He was on the box fly though. So now I'm going to head old Jimmy with my box fly. right back up in there. Alright, let's move up. That was one. Missed him. I want to fish this upper area real good, then I'm going to try something different. Something that I've found that sometimes works. Ah! Missed that one too. Just can't get right. Must be a little one. So both of these flies, now that I mentioned that, both of these flies are tied on a number 8, no, 10, a size 10, 2X long shank nymph fly. So now I want to throw down in that hole, and then I just want to bring those flies real slow back up through the deep. I'm just going to real slow back up through there and see if I couldn't get one to take it while they're moving. I have worked flies like this in the Swift before. See them, I don't know if you can see it moving there as it comes up through there. One more time and then we're going to move on. Bring it right back, right up through there. Nothing. Okay, so moving on. Still got a lot of water to cover. Let's pitch it right up there and see if we can't get one. Missed that one too. I don't know if you guys saw that line pull. Honest again, this is why I don't like fishing with 2 flies. All you do is stay tangled up. But I wanted to see how they both worked and which one did better. Just out of curiosity. I think they both work equally as well. Take a couple more steps right here. Right up there in the top of that. See what happens. Like I said, sometimes you only get one strike, one chance, and that's it. And if you don't get him, most times, especially in the park, you will not get a second chance. Wind's picking up. Okay. We're going to hit that right up there, and then that should be about it want to get tangled in that tree right there. It's a bad spot for that. I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's throw right over here. Let's see if there's not something hanging out right through there. Nope, nothing. Okay. So, once again, I'm not throwing in the swift necessarily, just enough along the edge to get it to come down the stream. And the fish are not going to be hanging. Really, the fish is going to be hanging right there where that tree sticks, that limb is there. But of course, if I throw too far over there, by the time it gets over there, it's going to hang me up. So we don't want to do that. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to try, let's take a look and see what we've got right here. It's almost 2 o'clock. There might possibly be one hanging out right there next to that big rock. We'll throw it in just to see. It's a bit too swift again for my likings here. So there's whatever that is flying. Looks like some kind of a mayfly or something. I don't know. I really don't pay that much attention other to see if a fish is holding somewhere when they're rising to throw over like we did just a minute ago. Nothing. It's not really an ideal place. You never know about a stump like this too. It could be a decent sized fish lurking right around at the bottom of that. Seen a big brown caught under stuff like that. Now this is slow enough really to where there could be a trout in this anywhere. I'm just going to throw it up there and let it come right back down. Nothing. So the limit for this creek is 7 any size. So if I had been keeping them, I would have done caught my limit. But that being said, I never do keep them hardly ever. Oh, it's over in that tree. Nothing. Alright, let's move it on. Don't really foresee anything right through here. Now right up there looks like a hole that's promising. Now different times of the year too they might move into something like this, but right now we're just coming out of winter. The water's still relatively cold. They're going to be in the deep winter holes where they can stand there and not have to move. Oop, that was a fish right there. Didn't get him though. Where it takes less energy. You know, they don't want to expend any more energy in the winter time than they have to. Oh, there he is! Ha ha! Alright, another little rainbow. And that was, whoop, it was on the box fly. That's alright, we're just going to turn him right back in there anyway. Whoop, I don't know, that could have been a fish right there too. Alright. Right back up in there. Oop. A little peck. Let's keep throwing. So really that's 2 ahead of Jims Grampus. Okay, moving on. And then, that being said, I could just have not, I'm not an expert fly tyer by no means. It could be that I don't have something right on there, and on Jim's defense there. And it could just be that there's something that's matching my fly better than his in the water right now. Alright, so there's nothing, no holes up through here. Make our way right on up through here. Get a little closer to the top of this headwater of this swift. I might throw once down through here, but really it doesn't look like where it would be very promising. But you never know. Really not deep enough, I don't think. There's just certain places trout tend to hold, and some places they don't. Anywhere right through there was, like right there. Ooh, I got a double. I got a double. Look at that. I got a double. Oh, gracious. Whoop. How about that? How often do you see that? Well, let's get him back down the water. Hemostats. Old net's just about too big. Alright, let's get this one off. And we'll get the other one. He's tangled up in the line. He's gone. I snagged this one. He gone. How often do you get that? Let's get this fixed. Okay. That's 11. Let's get right back out there. Okay. Let's move right on up here. There was one. I didn't get him. Oop. He nibbled around on it, but I never did get him to take it. Might have spooked him when I caught those two together. Water does some funny stuff right here where it comes back around and swirls. Alright, let's move right on up here. This is a decent little spot right here. There should be some more fish in there, I would think, for sure, besides just those two. I can't believe I caught two on at the same time. You don't do that very often. Even if you've got a dropper dry fly, or a dropper wet fly with a dry fly, it, you know, it happens, but not very often. And I would really like to get it over there under that tree limb, but where those tree limbs come down, it's just going to get hung up. I'll pitch it right at the base of them and hope. Nothing. Ah, it was in the tree right there. Let's see if I can get it above it just a little. Right there. That's where we wanted it. Now then, let's move on up. We might try, just while I'm right here, let's just pitch it right there. Let's just bring it back up through here as we're walking along. You never know when one will come up and pop that. Nothing. What I might do right here is, I wanted to get right there in that still water, and I said those tree limbs were in the way. Let's just pitch it right there and see what happens. We may have to bring it back out. Yeah, we may have to bring it back out. Let's see if we can get it deep. Right there. That's a decent spot for one. Nothing. I can't keep it in there far enough. Let's keep going. Where are we at? Caught 11. Not too bad. So now we got a decent little stretch right here where we're going to have to walk. But I was going to ease into it. Just going to pitch it right there and let it come back down through this lower end of this swift. Nothing. And nothing. Right there, just on the edge of that. There he is. Oh, he come off. That one come off before I ever got a chance to see which fly he took. That's okay. Surprised I haven't caught a stalker yet. These have all been little wild trout. They did stalk the creek. Right up there next to the edge. Let it come right back down along that deep water right there. And nothing. I'll back up and do the same. One more cast and then we'll move on up. Okay. I just wanted to come right down through the middle in that deep water. Oop. There he is. Ha ha! Wow. Oh, he's a wild one, that one. Watch him go. I wet my hands. See if I can't just, there we go. Save him a trip. It makes 13. Right, back up in there and let's do it again. So like I said before, it's still late in the year. They're in that deep water. Just kind of on the bottom that time. Just kind of hanging out in that deep water. And like I said before, if one or two is about all you're going to find in a hole, unless you're fishing somewhere where they've stocked the madness out of it. Now here's a nice little spot. Let's see what we get out of here. Now that was on Jims Grampus back there too, by the way. So like I said before, it's pretty well even. I'd fish with either one of them, depending on the water. Now then, so none of this is any good. Right there in that deep water is where we're wanting. See if we can't get right about here. Whoop. Line got tangled. Let's see what happens. Ah, there he was. I missed him. And nothing. Did you see that one rise right there? Ah, that Jim. Nothing. Missed that one. Can't get right. Let's move right on up here. That felt like a good one. Huh. I'm disappointed in this one. Of course, I've missed a few there, so there was fish in here. Alright, moving on. And everything. Okay. Well, there's a big hole. There he is. Get it, son, get it. Oh. That one was on a Jim. That's 14. I seen him come up and hit that. Wind keeps blowing my line up. Can't get it where I want it. Now then, let's go right there in that deep section. Okay. That was a little one. Lots of shallow water. Looks like a decent hole. Oh, I missed him. I think I turned him though. He won't bite again. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Maybe. No, he's not gonna. He's done with it. Big old stick. Okay. Well, I've made it up to the bridge. This is my exit point. This will be the last hole that I fish. Hopefully this has been beneficial to you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And we'll catch you next time. Once I fish this one, we'll close her out. So just to recap, as of now, we got 14. So it's a pretty good day all in all. Not a real long stretch of water that we fished. Normally I'd do quite a bit more, but it's just what we had time for today. Well, go ahead and make that 15. Whoa! On the box fly. There you go. Deep hole. Golly, missed that one. Alright, I think we're going to call it a day. I appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you next time.